get into it. Snowflake Mountain, an authoritarian wet dream. Hi, I'm DW, media consumer, just like you, brought to you by viewers, just like you. Snowflake Mountain is your parents' and your grandparents' favorite reality show. You can infer from the name that it's a piece of right-leaning, authoritarian, militaristic propaganda. A lot of big-ish words for me. Yeah, popping my peas today. The contestants are referred to as the coded term of snowflakes, which is defined by Oxford Dictionary as someone who is overly sensitive and entitled. And honestly, they should have just at me. It's most commonly used as a dog whistle by Republicans or anyone, usually of the older... Wow. They're trying to silence me. It is most commonly used as a dog whistle by Republicans or usually anyone, usually older, against younger people or people leaning left, or really anyone who disagrees with their thoughts. It is apparent that this show is right-leaning, even in the most subtle ways, and pushes a bootstrap mentality. That the only thing holding the contestants back is themselves and their thoughts and their emotions, and really anything that makes them a human being. Despite the actual ages of the contestants, articles, including one from Screen Rant, cites the contestants as 10 entitled millennials, even though the oldest person on the show, the oldest people on the show are 26, coincidentally, kind of the only millennials, if you are using that cited work as like the ages of millennials. For example, I'm 26, so according to some articles, I'm the youngest millennial. Other articles, I'm the oldest Generation Z. So it really kind of depends on who you ask. It depends on who I'm feeling like that day. Maybe I'm feeling like a millennial, maybe I'm feeling like a Generation Z. I don't know. You know, that's how I'm feeling. So first I want to introduce you to the contestants and then to the mentors and the judges to show how the show pushes this rhetoric that is damaging and rudimentary to the problems facing the youngest millennials and the oldest Gen Z, like me, right? As I stated before, there are 10 contestants on the show at a time. One usually leaves before the prize, it's $50,000, is announced, and one joins the cast, and one leaves midway through. So the first contestant I want to introduce is Olivia. She was 25 at the time of filming, and she was the first to leave midway through the episode because she was like, girl, I'm not doing it. And I don't blame her, because that probably, Olivia would have been me. Shout out to Olivia. Solomon, who was 26 at the time of filming, was the second contestant to leave and the first to remove $5,000 from the $50,000 prize fund, knocking it down to $45,000. Every time someone left, they would remove $5,000 from the prize pot. But they never actually kicked anyone off the show. They made it a point to say that. They would send you to Last Chance Lake, and if you got sent to Last Chance Lake, it was basically you sleeping on the floor in the wilderness, and you would get a video from your parents trying to be like, hey girl, keep going, fight through it. And yeah, I wouldn't fight through it. I would leave. Francesca, our next contestant, was introduced at the end of episode 3, and she was 21 at the time of filming. The contestants that we see the most who are there most of the time are Deandra, she's 24, Ray, who's 25, Devin, who's 20, Diaria, who's 25, Liam, who's 21, Carl, who's 22, Randy, who's 23, and Sunny, who is 26 as well. The reason I'm sort of glossing over the contestants is because all in all, they're kind of irrelevant to the point I'm trying to make in my video. Like, are they just snowflakes, or are they really just young people in an increasingly volatile and uncertain world? I'll let you be the judge if you watch it. If you don't, I'm spoiling it in this video, so if you don't, then it's fine. I'll tell you who wins anyway. Yeah. The snowflakes are lied to initially, right? They are told they're going on this beautiful resort island vacation, a la kind of Love Island or something like that. But actually, jokes on them, it's a survival show. It is presented as if their parents are the ones who sent them on the show, but like, allegedly their parents sent them on the show. I won't get into it. Maybe I will, I won't. Shout out if you want conspiracy theories about Snowflake Island from me. Okay. The hosts of the show are Matt and Joel. Both of them are survivalists who served in the armed forces and believe this generation is soft and entitled. Snowflakes, basically, right? Okay, everybody's snowflakes. Everybody's a snowflake, but not Matt and Joel, even though Matt and Joel are kind of millennials. But we're not going to get into it because it's not confirmed. It's not confirmed. Conspiracy theory, another one. Okay, they both give off heavy right-wing vibes, but I won't totally write them off as right-wing because it's a reality show, and of course, in reality show, the producers are always telling them to do stuff. So of course, if the producers, your bosses, are telling you to do things, then like you do them, right? Okay. There's another pseudo host. Her name is Kat, and she's a survivalist and a professor. And I have no notes on Miss Kat. Bomb. 10 out of 10. I hope you're not problematic. I didn't really do research into you, but I like you from the show. Okay. Back to Matt and Joel. They're introduced to the contestants by them basically making the snowflakes, right? Pick up their luggage, and that I remind you was packed for an island vacation, for a resort. So why the fuck would I bring a tomahawk? Excuse me, but why would I if I think I'm going to a resort? Why would I then bring like a screwdriver? Anyway, I'm not Tommy Pickles. The rest of their things are then blown up. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so they pick out the things that they are like that they cannot live without, right? Out of their suitcases, out of their big bulky suitcases. And after they pick out their things to put in their survival pack, how about Matt and Joel just like blow their suitcases up? They just blow them up. They're just blown up. If this is supposed to be teaching them the value of money and the value of things and being like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be wasteful. Why would you blow my things up that I already bought, my MacBook? Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense to me. And I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like this show. I watched the whole thing. I don't like it. Anyway, of course, this whole thing turns out to be fake. Okay, that instance turns out to be fake. Don't get me on my conspiracy rag. But that instance turns out to be fake. And at the end of the show, they are given their things back and their valuables back. Spoiler, right? Okay. Joel and Matt and occasionally Kat, cute rhyme, take the snowflakes through trials and tribulations, making them find their food on the lake and in the jungle, making them climb trees, do physical labor, clean the camp, and take care of chickens. At some point, they bring in the chickens. It's the Muppets. But TW, that's me, you might say. This sounds like a roaring good time. What's the big deal? Why are you so mad? Authoritarianism. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Netflix is sneakily trying to push boomer logic on us. Yakamundo, am I right, my fellow children? Maybe I'm a millennial. All right, like I said before, Matt and Joel served in the military, right? So their techniques are very much based in good old American authoritarianism, right? Yummy, yummy, eat it up. The contestants are often told to forget their feelings. Don't ask questions, just do, because they said so, everybody. Because they said so. Matt and Joel told me to do it, so I have to do it. Yikes. Devin, in particular, the youngest contestant at 20, is always berated by Matt and Joel for crying. Because, you know, tears are weakness. You're not supposed to cry. You're not thinking. You just do. Do what they say at all times. Do what the American government says. She is ridiculed by them because she can't control her emotions. Or is she just 20 years old, sweeties? Or maybe she's just neurodivergent, sister. Or maybe she's just 20. Ever thought of that? I don't think so. And don't get me wrong, Devin had some points that weren't cool in the show. Like there was a point where, you know, she wasn't helping with the dishes and, you know, calabos. That's me. Okay, she wasn't helping to the dishes. Don't talk to him. She wasn't helping to the dishes. But I mean, it doesn't excuse the way that they treated her because she showed emotions, right? She's supposed to be just stone-faced at all times and just take it just because, right? She was there on her birthday, for God's sakes. Her mom allegedly sent her there to spend her birthday in the wilderness with strangers. I mean, I would cry too. Honestly, the host seems like they had it out for Devin. And I'm not saying that because she cried a lot, but like, there were some instances that were just like, damn, Devin, right? So for example, okay, in the 6th episode, Matt and Joel were angry at the contestants because they didn't care for the chickens that they just forced upon them, that I talked about before, the chickens that they just brought in like holy gonzo, right? Okay, so they just made them take care of chickens, but they didn't tell them how to take care of chickens, ladies and gentlemen. They gave them a sheet of directions and it was like, do it, and then walked away. And they're supposed to take care of these chickens. So they initially followed the directions, but then somebody was supposed to stay up with them all night. But guess what? They went to sleep because they're waking them up at 6 p.m. And so of course they went to sleep because they were tired. Okay. So Matt and Joel get mad at this, right? Okay, so they get really, 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 really mad. So they yell at the contestants and wake them up at the ass crack of dawn, and then be like, "Why are you sleepy?" Anyway, they wake them up at the ass crack of dawn, and Devin is the first person ready and to the campfire when they call, like when they wake everybody up. So instead of being like, "Good job, Devin," you know what Matt and Joel do? You know what my good old boys Matt and Joel do? They call her selfish, honey. They said that she only cares about herself. She doesn't care about the camp. Why are you here? Why are you here first? You don't care about the camp. Why aren't you helping everybody get dressed and put their drawers on? Devin. You know what? Plank. And they made her plank. They made her plank until everybody else came. And then they started planking too. But leave Devin alone. Even though she did some stuff that wasn't cool. Doesn't make any sense. She's 20. Who cares? Okay. Okay, so this is another point that I wanted to bring up that I thought was really crazy. I'm trying not to curse too crazy, right? But it was really nuts to me. Okay, so at some point Matt and Joel are trying to toughen the campers up, or like trying to be like, "You think you can't do this, but you can," and some Jillian Michaels kind of stuff, some like, you know, psychology kind of thing. So they make them break a board with their palm, like, "Ha," you know, Karate Kid, whatever. I don't. Karate Kid featuring Jaden Smith. Okay, Joel explains, you know, it might help if you put on an alter ego. Like in some circles, I'm considered Hank, and Hank helps me do the things that I think I can't do. I'm sorry. Is Hank a mass murderer? Did Hank commit crimes against humanity? I'm sorry, I didn't rob that bank. That was actually my alter ego, Bucci Flantis. I'll go get her for you so you can arrest her, but don't arrest me. But she's actually on vacation, so, you know, maybe you shouldn't arrest me, and I will call you, police. I will call you when Bucci comes back from vacation so she can answer for her crimes. Because it wasn't me. It was Bucci. It wasn't me. It was Hank. That's all I'm saying. So spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you who wins. The show ends with ding, 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 Diara winning. Woo! Yay! Because she showed the most growth and blah, 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 blah. Shout out to you, Diara. I don't care. Shout out to you. I'm glad you won that, and I'm glad you opened your beauty salon, and you go. You go, Diara. I almost said you go, Bucci Flantis. Wow. Okay, here's my main point, all right? Aside from the coded language, we've been having a fun time, right? Okay? Aside from the coded language and the authoritarianism and the propaganda, my biggest problem with this show, with the boomers and the booming millennials, okay, who just think they're the I'm not like other girls, right, of the generation. Here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. And it has to do with the chickens, and it has to do with just like life, okay? How the fuck are we supposed to know how to do something if no one taught us? How? How are we supposed to function in a world that is no longer, and in some cases never was made for us to succeed? What about climbing trees and tending to chickens and skinning deer is going to fix the economy? It's going to pay off our student loans. It's going to stop climate change. It's going to make abortion a human right. It's going to lower these damn gas prices. Because first of all, record scratch, I drive a Kia Forte. I bought that Kia Forte in 2014 because you know what? It took $20 to fill up my gas tank. Why am I paying $6 at the pump? Anyway, maybe I'm taking this show too serious. Maybe I got the wrong idea. Maybe it was supposed to just be another trash reality TV show from Netflix. Transphobic Netflix. To, you know, make us forget our troubles, to sit back, relax, and enjoy the viewing, right? But it didn't. Instead, it pushed the same rhetoric that is causing the world to burn. And that doesn't make me happy. That doesn't make me escape the hellscape that we live in right now. So, at least the other shows that I watch to try to get over it, you know, they help me get over it. Because it's something I don't have to think about. But this, I might as well go watch Naked and Afraid. So my cat is literally pooping right now. I was trying to have a moment and he's shitting. Shout out to Flo, everybody. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please like it. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some comments. Subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram if you want to. If you feel, can you hear I'm pooping? It's about to stink. I'm trying to wrap this up. You can follow me on Instagram if you want to.